Befana. Once upon a time, in a small, cozy village nestled in the rolling hills of Italy, there lived an old woman named Befana. She lived alone in a quaint little house at the edge of the village. Befana was known far and wide for her kindness, her love for children, and her ever-present broom. She wore a big, warm shawl and a pointed hat, which made her look a bit like a witch, but she had a heart full of love and a spirit of generosity. One cold winter night, as Befana was sweeping her porch, she noticed a bright star twinkling in the sky. It was the brightest star she had ever seen, shining with a magical glow. As she stood there admiring the star, she heard a gentle knock on her door. Curious, she opened it to find 3 wise men standing outside, their faces lit with the same magical light as the star. The wise men were dressed in splendid robes and carried gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. They introduced themselves as Melchior, Caspar, and Balthazar. They explained to Befana that they were following the bright star to find a very special child who had just been born. This child, they said, was destined to bring great joy and love to the world. They invited Befana to join them on their journey to find the child. Befana was thrilled at the idea of meeting this special child, but she had so many chores to do. Her house needed a good cleaning, and she had to bake cookies for the children in the village. She told the wise men that she would catch up with them after she finished her work. The wise men thanked her and continued on their journey, following the bright star. Befana set to work with a sense of urgency. She cleaned her house from top to bottom, scrubbing every corner and dusting every shelf. She baked batches of her famous cookies, filling her house with the sweet smell of sugar and spice. Once everything was in order, she packed a basket with cookies and set off to find the wise men. She followed the bright star, but no matter how fast she walked, she couldn't catch up with them. Befana asked everyone she met if they had seen the wise men, but no one had. She was determined, though, and continued on her way, her heart filled with hope. As she traveled from village to village, Befana gave cookies to every child she met. She hoped that one of them might be the special child she was searching for. The children were delighted to receive the cookies, and their smiles warmed Befana's heart. She continued her journey, always keeping her eyes on the bright star. One night, Befana was resting under a big old tree. She looked up at the bright star and made a wish. "I wish to find the special child and give him my cookies," she said softly. Just then, a kind angel appeared before her. The angel had heard Befana's wish and wanted to help her. The angel told Befana that she had already done something very special. By giving cookies to all the children she met, she had spread love and joy everywhere she went. The angel explained that the special child, named Jesus, was born in a humble stable in Bethlehem. He was now safe and surrounded by love. Befana was happy to hear that the special child was safe and loved. She thanked the angel for the good news and decided to continue giving cookies to children every year on the night before Epiphany, which is January 6th. She wanted to honor the special child by spreading joy and love to all children. From that day on, Befana became a beloved figure in Italy. Every year on January 5th, children would hang their stockings by the fireplace and wait for Befana to visit. She would fly on her broom, carrying a basket of cookies and small gifts. If the children had been good, she would fill their stockings with treats. If they had been naughty, she would leave a piece of coal. But even then, Befana always left a little treat, hoping the children would try to be better next time. As the years went by, Befana's legend grew. Children eagerly awaited her visit, knowing that she brought not only treats, but also love and joy. Parents would tell their children about Befana's kindness and her journey to find the special child. They would remind them to be good, kind, and loving, just like Befana. Befana loved her new tradition. She enjoyed seeing the children's happy faces and hearing their laughter. Each year, she would prepare her cookies with great care, using her secret recipe that everyone in the village loved. Her house would be filled with the warm, sweet aroma of baking cookies, a scent that brought back fond memories for everyone who visited her. One year, as Befana was getting ready for her annual journey, she received a letter from a child in a distant village. The letter was from a little girl named Maria, who had heard about Befana's kindness and wanted to meet her. Maria wrote that she had been very good all year and had helped her mother take care of her baby brother. She asked if La Befana could visit her village and bring some cookies for her family. La Befana was touched by Maria's letter. She decided to make a special trip to Maria's village. She packed her basket with extra cookies and a few small gifts. On the night before Epiphany, she set off on her broom, following the bright star as she always did. When La Befana arrived at Maria's village, she found the little girl's house and gently knocked on the door. Maria opened the door, her eyes wide with surprise and joy. She couldn't believe that La Befana had come to visit her. La Befana gave Maria a warm hug and handed her the basket of cookies and gifts. Maria's mother thanked La Befana for her kindness and invited her to stay for a while. La Befana spent the evening with Maria's family, telling them stories about her travels and the children she had met. Maria and her family listened with wide eyes, enchanted by La Befana's tales. They shared a simple meal, and La Befana felt a deep sense of happiness and belonging. As the night grew late, La Befana knew it was time to continue her journey. She promised Maria that she would visit again next year and reminded her to always be kind and helpful. Maria hugged La Befana tightly and watched as she flew off into the night sky, following the bright star. La Befana continued her journey, visiting children in villages far and wide. She left cookies and small gifts in their stockings, spreading love and joy wherever she went. Each year, more and more children learned about La Befana and her kindness. They eagerly awaited her visit, knowing that she brought not just treats, but also a reminder of the importance of love, kindness, and generosity. As La Befana grew older, her heart remained as young and full of love as ever. She cherished the connections she made with the children and their families. She knew that by spreading joy and love, she was honoring the special child she had once set out to find. And so, the legend of La Befana lived on. Every year, on the night before Epiphany, children in Italy and beyond would hang their stockings by the fireplace and wait for La Befana to visit. They would remember the story of the kind old woman who followed a bright star and shared her love with every child she met. The moral of the story: we learned that kindness and love are very important. By sharing and caring for others, just like La Befana did, we can make the world a happier place. Even if we can't always do big things, little acts of kindness can bring a lot of joy. Let's always try to be kind and loving to everyone we meet.